In terms of fuel consumption, that's the last 50k fuel consumption for me. Sport mode, 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, this is Chery, welcome to the channel. This is the all-new Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid available in the New Zealand market. In today's video, I'll go for a POV drive to let you know the exterior, interior, and the driving experience after driving the Chery Tiggo 4 for a week. Let's get outside first. First thing, let's start off from the pricing part. In the New Zealand market, the Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid starts from 32,990 plus ORC. This one is the ultimate, that's at 37,990 plus ORC. But at the moment, while I'm filming, Chery does offer a $2,000 discount. That means this car starts just over $30,000 before the on-road costs. On the market, the closest competitor to the Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid will be the GWM Haval Jolene, which offers hybrid as well, and also the MG ZS Hybrid. Overall, it is a very compact size. It is just over 4.3 meters long, close to 1.9 meters wide. Height is over 1.65 meters long. The wheelbase sits over 2.6 meters. So overall, compact size, but still enough for 5 people inside, and not bad luggage room by the way. In terms of exterior, it looks identical to the petrol version, apart from alloy wheel design, since we're driving the highest spec today anyway. Still 17-inch on the side, with some sort of E-range tires from a company called Silent. I've got no idea what it is. It's not the best tires, but the alloys looks alright. At the front, we're having full LED headlights with indicators underneath and also daytime running underneath as well. Big chunky grille over here, just like the Chery logos. You get Chery logos on the top, black trims, and sort of diamond silver trims in between. They look alright. To be fair, you can definitely see them on the road. Overall, the shape is quite boxy, and you can definitely see the language around the vehicle. Underneath, silver plate, some black trims on the door, and chrome trims on the top as well. Now, coming to the back, you get full LED taillights at the back. They do lit up at night, so very cool actually for a car that at this price point. So on the market, if there's no discount on the hybrid version, the price difference between the petrol and the hybrid is $8,000. Whether you think that 8 is reasonable, well, it's really up to you. And then at the back, Chery logos on the top, Tiggo 4 Hybrid underneath. This is pretty much the only place you can tell apart from the Chery Tiggo 4 petrol against the hybrid. Now let's get to the front. You get keyless entry, keyless start, and also available on the lower trim. Today, this one, we are driving the highest spec, by the way. Being a higher spec, you get leather seats at the front, electric adjust on the driver side, heated function at the front seats, by the way. If you do go for the base model, which is called Urban, you're going to get fabric seats, which is actually not bad. I don't mind the base model, I'll be honest with you. Now, get inside, push button start. There we go, the vehicle is on. So you get pretty much a similar interior like the Chery Tiggo 4 petrol version. All the buttons over here are piano black, but they are at least hard, plastic buttons you can press, so that's pretty good. Chery logo in the center. Steering is quite large for the size of the vehicle, but it's okay. Indicators on the right, windscreen wiper on the left. Behind the steering, you also get this visual monitoring system, which works okay. Not the best, but not the worst for sure. And at the front, that's the 12.3-inch display, which looks alright. You get different designs, I believe. So there will be a display setting. You can change your theme, and that will change the design language on your dashboard. Just like that. You can also make it traditional if you wish. Most things are easy, intuitive, and if you do use the buttons, you can also click left and right. In terms of fuel consumption, that's the last 50k fuel consumption for me, 4.8 liter per 100 k's. Not too bad, isn't it? I've got good consumption out of this one, and the factory claim is actually 5.2, so I've got better ratings on the dash. Anyway, going in the center, this is another 12.3-inch display, so identical to the standard Chery Tiggo 4. You can swap the screen to go other places, and then on the side you can swap in to do quick adjustments over here, and also your parking brake, auto hold, and things like that. Speaking of a parking brake, there is no physical parking brake key over here. This is another place to tell the hybrid versus the petrol version. The petrol version will have the electric handbrake, auto hold buttons over here, where this one you are controlled by the screen. So two ways to actually disengage your parking brake. One way, seatbelt on, put on drive or reverse, press the accelerator, the car will go. Alternatively, if you don't have your seatbelt on, you have to actually press this to disengage the parking brake. Some people may not like it, but it's just what it is on many new Chery vehicles. Apart from that, the screen response time is alright, it's not too bad. You get local settings about Bluetooth display, you get vehicle settings about some of the vehicle keys, lights, driver assistance, and all that things. And then you do have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay that's available through the screen. You do also have Hello Chery to give you commands and things like that, so we can use that. All the safety pack technology are standard across all the Chery vehicles, like the adaptive cruise control, blind spot detection, and all that things. This higher spec will get the 360 view camera, which actually looks pretty good for the price. I don't mind that, but if you go to the base model, it's just a reverse camera. Either way, you will get front and rear parking sensors on both of the vehicle. Now, coming down to the center, these are your physical buttons to change your music, and a couple buttons for the camera, driving mode, and home button over here. Driving mode,
it has entered sport mode.
You can do sport mode and eco mode, so that's two modes for you to go to. Under the vehicle settings, you can also change the region braking and things like that. That's available on the vehicle. Over here, you can do low, medium, or high. I've always set it low. That's my sort of preference. Underneath, these are some buttons for your climate control, although they are not physical buttons, but still they are very easy to use. You get directions on the top, temperature display, everything in the center, some quick buttons over here for your auto, AC, and then you do get temperature controls just by your side. So these are really easy to use and really easy to touch. I do love that, so I don't mind this screen display. The only thing is you get quite some fingerprints, as you can see. Now over here, that's the electronic gear shifter, some storage over here since the electric parking brake button is deleted. Over here, storage for your phone or for your wallet. Over here, two small cup holders. They're not superb, but they're okay. Underneath, quite deep storage. And then on the side, yeah, decent amount of storage by the glove box. On the top, we are getting the sunroof over here, which is a manual cover and electric shade and electric glass, by the way. But yeah, I don't think I'll need it if I'm going to buy this car, but whether you like some of the things, it's really up to you whether you want to get the heated seats, leather, and things like that. I think the base model actually represents a really good value. But anyway, let's go to the back. So I've set the driver's seat to my driving position. I'm about 178 centimeters tall. I've got a great amount of legroom, as you can see. Foot space is okay, not too bad. The foot floor is okay. The floor is a little bit higher compared to some other cars, but I don't mind it. On the side, one thing I should mention, a cool Chery feature which is available on Chery Tiggo 4 is your opening warning. So if someone's traveling behind you, this light will lit up when the vehicle stays at park, just in case you open the door out of a sudden. So that's actually give you an indication over there. That's really good. Pocket over here, one single air vent over here, one single USB-A charging underneath, and storage over here. Speaking of storage, I forgot to mention that there is an under tray storage just in there with USB-A and Type-C charging. And then over here, cup holder and armrest feels quite nice. Now, yeah, that's pretty good for the back seats because the car isn't huge. It's only 4.3 meters long, but it's got a good amount of space for me, for an adult like me. Anyway, let's get to the boot. So, manual tailgate, even on the higher spec, that's just the only thing about these variants. And then opening the boot, floor is reasonably low, it's quite flat. It's not as long as some other competitors, but it's pretty wide. You can see the hump over here. That's where the hybrid battery or some other battery is taking places. If you're looking for the petrol version, this is completely flat, by the way. The volume for the boot is around 470 liters, according to Chery brochure, but it doesn't look as big as that because it's all the way to the roof. You can drop the seats 40-60 split. It's going to create more than 1,000 liters, of course. And then underneath you got some storage, you got the jack and things, and then underneath you are going to get a space saver, which is really good. But remember, you can only get the space saver on this outer version. If you go to the urban version, you don't get space saver, you only get tire mobility kit. So the Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid Urban is the only variant that you don't get space saver across all the Chery Tiggo 4 range. That's a strange thing, but that's the fact. Anyway, close that. Pretty easy. All right, now let's get on the road to give it a drive. And I forgot to switch off the vehicle. You can hear how lovely and how quiet this is since this is switched to EV mode. Very simple, isn't it? All right, first thing, visibility at the front is pretty good. The car seat's quite high and side mirrors are really good. There's a small gap to see your gateway or stop sign. Left is all right, side is all right. There is no rear quarter window to see the sort of the gap at a very blind spot at the back, but it's not too bad. The rear windscreen is quite small, but at least the car is short. It doesn't really affect too much unless you have someone sitting at the back seat in the middle. Let's get it on the road, see how it goes. So in terms of drivetrain, I come with a 1.5 liter petrol motor that is natural aspirated, so no turbocharged unlike the petrol variants. It produces 71 kilowatts of power, 120 Newton meters of torque. So again, small engine and small power, that's understandable. But you do get EV mode and EV battery at the back. The EV motor produces 150 kilowatts of power, 310 Newton meters of torque. On the brochure, Chery does not mention a combined power, but that's going to be more than 150 kilowatts. As we understand, when you combine both things, that's going to be more. But it would be a lot less than 200 kilowatts, in my opinion. You can definitely feel that when you drive the vehicle. But anyways, it's not a slow car. Whenever you need the power, it's very easy to push or to go, and the vehicle does give you a really good, nice acceleration. And now we are driving on standard eco mode. The vehicle will switch to petrol motor once you reach to a certain speed, or if you put your foot down to do any acceleration and things. The combined fuel consumption from the factory is just over 5 liters per 100 k's. As I mentioned earlier, I can reach about 4.7 liter per 100 k's on the last 50k run. So it's actually pretty good range or pretty good consumption as far as I can see. And then coming to the suspension setup on this vehicle, it's MacPherson at the front, torsion beam at the back. Again, it's a budget-friendly vehicle, so not a premium setup. The vehicle drives okay in terms of straight line acceleration, but the handling isn't really great. So at low speed, at low sort of turns, you can see all the dead spots around the vehicle, and the steering is a little bit numb feel. There's not much engagement when you drive a vehicle on surfaces like this. And there we go, acceleration isn't too bad. I'm okay with acceleration. But yeah, the steering response is quite vague, and there's not much of a steering assistance or steering adjustments. At least it's reasonably comfortable. Occasionally on the road, you are going to feel small bumps and holes, but it's kind of absorbing that a little bit all right. And when you turn the car towards certain angles, you actually get a good steering feel out of it. You can definitely feel that as well. Now, driving at low speed, the vehicle feels reasonably quiet until you reach to the petrol power. Obviously, you engage the petrol power when it needs to. And at the most places, it's relatively quiet. And when the vehicle switch from EV to petrol, it's also not too bad. Let's do a U-turn over here just to see how it is like for the turning circle around this small area. One thing I should mention, at low speed, changing the gear isn't really easy. But let's give it a try. Oh, it's got reverse this time. Sometimes it just doesn't go into reverse, it will just stay on neutral, so you have to press the brake quite heavily. But this time it's alright. And when the vehicle is on reverse, there's a small chime noise to warn pedestrians and things like that, so that's reasonable. And over here, let's switch the vehicle back to
sport mode.
Sport mode. Let's see if we... Sport mode. There we go.
It has entered sport mode.
Sport mode. Okay, I need that. Let's get it on the road to see how the acceleration is like. Right, sport mode, 1, 2, 3. Phew, that's not a bad acceleration, I will be honest with you. If there's no truck, we can easily reach 100k quite fast actually. There's a little bit tire chirping, which is fun. Just being front wheel drive, that's the expectation you will get when you do such a big acceleration, such a big power push on the motorway. There are some font changes on the dash when it's on sport mode as well to let you know, I'm in the orange color, I'm on the sport mode. Now let's go back to the eco mode, and you can definitely get the reduction on the speed and things. On the motorway, you get quite a bit of wind noise around places, and the car feels quite boxy. I guess the winds just blast through the windscreen and things, so you're going to get match noise on the motorway. In terms of comfortness, it's all right. It's understandable for the size of the vehicle, but you get some small adjustments on some surfaces, and you can definitely feel that in the vehicle. When you go through all these barriers and things, you can get a big shake in the car, so you can definitely feel that. So overall, it's not a premium riding, but do remember this is a really good price for probably one of the best priced hybrid vehicles on the market right now. So it's something you understand and you take that into consideration. Being a budget-friendly vehicle, it's not supposed to do everything perfectly, let's be honest. Now let's go back to the urban driving and let's talk about that again. Just like I mentioned, when you drive at low speed, when the vehicle slows down, it will recharge. It will also do region braking, by the way. You can change the level from low, medium, or high. My favorite is low, just very minimal region. And when you reach to a certain speed, at low speed, if your battery is obviously charged, it will also switch into EV mode. But the EV mode stays probably until about 50 k's or so. It depends on your acceleration as well. Eventually the petrol motor will kick in, will engage. You can feel that, by the way. When the petrol motor kicks in from the EV motor, from the EV mode, you can feel a small sort of vibration. Not too bad, not to the level that you're going to dislike it, so just a perfectly normal situation. But if you do put your foot down very heavily, the petrol motor will kick in, and then eventually the petrol motor will make a very loud noise. And those noises are, again, fun for what the vehicle brings to you, but it's just the way how it is. Handling, as we mentioned, at a low sort of turns, it's a bit numb in some way. There's not much feelings behind it, not much engaging. The vehicle feels like there's a little bit body roll when you go fast around corners. But again, at this price point, you kind of expect those things to happen, and it's not going to be perfect. For the price point, for what this car brings to you on the features aside, it is acceptable in terms of driving experience. I don't think you will be disappointed with the driving, unless you are comparing this to a very much fancier car on the market. With that saying, if you do want a little bit handling, I think at just a little bit over this vehicle's price, you could go for the MG ZS Hybrid. That has a little bit more solid steering response. Again, that's more expensive and it's supposed to be better, let's put it that way. And yeah, at low speed, you are still going to feel the road on the seats. You're going to feel the small bumps, small holes, and here and there, which is just the way how this car performs. And steering can be changed from eco or comfort setting or sport setting, by the way. But even under the sport setting, it still feels relatively unresponse, let's put that way. So even right now you can see it does shake in places. Let's do that. Anyway, we'll get on the motorway and give it a go again. That's pretty much us. It's alright acceleration, but the engine is a little bit loud if you do push it to the limit. So it's not a quiet engine in terms of acceleration. But again, it's a good car for the price point. You always have to look at the price point when you considering, you know, what this car offers and things like that. So what are my thoughts about the Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid? It may not be the best driving vehicle machine in terms of handling, in terms of comfort and things like that, but do remember at its price point, it's got all the features that you will really need as a daily drive, all the safety technologies, and it's got offer a hybrid driving, which actually could achieve better fuel consumption than what the factory claimed from my driving. So I think this is, you know, acceptable for whatever the price point you are looking for. But with that saying, you have to look at the local pricing compared to the Chery Tiggo 4 petrol, and then think whether the hybrid will actually save you money in the long run. Because in New Zealand, the equivalent Chery Tiggo 4 petrol costs $8,000 less if there's no national discount on the hybrid, or $6,000 less right now with the national discount on the hybrid vehicles. $6,000 is quite a lot for petrol consumption and things like that. Whether you think it's worth it for your little bit better driving experience, a little bit EV driving, and better fuel consumption in the daily run, or you just get a petrol, save that $6,000 to $8,000, and then use that on fuel. So that can be a debate against your choices and with yourself. That's pretty much my verdict about the Chery Tiggo 4 Hybrid. What do you think about this car? Please let me know in the comment down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.